I was there. I was like, oh, great.
So reading that bullshit alone was okay. It'll probably be quicker if you read it by yourself. But reading that bullshit alone like took an hour. But anyway, welcome back. Okay, we're here. Let's continue. We are now in my main account with my peeps, and we will be continuing back up following Scaramouche. So let's go and see the story that has been cooked up for us.
That was like so thorough. I don't know how they didn't expect it. Yeah, I don't know how.
Can you hear Bon Bon?
Yeah.
Can you lower your volume?
I don't think it'll be a problem.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are.
Yeah, here we are.
Nahida, bad news. We just saw the ballad.
Here.
Hey,
well,
what are you doing in the sanctuary of Surastana? Aren't you supposed to be laughed at? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain.
Be my guest.
It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal.
Lies. Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting... It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us! As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time.
Izzy, get away from me. This is the second person who's tried to join me while I'm doing... I actually want to see something.
Yeah, once I found the second shadow strike, then things get crazy, because then it starts... Yeah, the page 8 me, I was like, oh, shit.
I wonder if I can zoom in on the PlayStation.
What's on the PlayStation?
I want to zoom in.
See music.
What?
Yeah, I think we might win now.
Oh, yeah, it is pretty music. I just...
Ooh, buyback city. They all use their buybacks. They don't have any buybacks that far. I managed to get a double screen thing out. You'll see the slot or like it's blown up.
What? How can PlayStation give you a camera? Because the problem is, it's like not on my face, you know what I mean? And it like, it just feels very far away. Okay, hold on. Sorry, you can cut this. Oh, yes, this is Scott. Let's see. Obviously, that's gonna. I wish there was like a. Moving it a bit closer. I guess I'd have to move it back and forth. Maybe it's because I'm like at the bottom of the frame, but I can't even like put it lower. Fuck it. That's a bit better. There we go. At least I'm like all in. You still don't see Sky. Like, oh, there she is. The camera's like out though. But whatever. At least I'm like fully in it, I guess. Since you can't zoom, you have to make do, hey? Anyway, let's go.
The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us.
Oh, wow.
That
Okay.
puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond.
Wait a second. Former? You mean he's not a Harbinger anymore?
I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be. Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
So that's how
I
it
think
happened.
these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him!
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you serious about this?
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision.
Yeah,
In
so the bag
fact,
is cooled down
I'm
at
largely
2.6
doing it for
seconds,
your
but I
benefit.
need to keep it on someone for 2
Oh.
seconds.
For moi?
Yes.
Yeah.
As I told you once before, there's
Every time
information
we
about your
press
twin in
Q,
Irminsul.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that?
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him!
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it.
Oh.
It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help?
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Oh, we got a giant's ring. Oh, that is gonna be big.
Wow,
I
it
think
looks
they're
pretty
gonna-
different here compared to
I'm gonna
last
have to
time.
put them into the things,
The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Just gonna have them longer.
And there's the fuck nut.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh,
Trying to cut like
but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul.
I might get myself.
It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Fine. Let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
I'm gonna get
Let's
mad.
cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together after all.
Something I want.
Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall
Aw,
behind.
he called me pretty.
You
Ooh
sure
la
are
la.
confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more
Well, he called my eyes
experienced at
pretty, but
adventuring
I'll
than
take
us.
it.
If there are no further
Ooh
objections,
la la.
I suggest we get going. Or
Take
did
what
you
you
need
can.
some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him.
Tell me if you can see what's done me, because I blinked in and got back instantly stunned.
Wow. So
Yeah.
this is the inside of
I've no idea what's done
Irminsul.
me, but I blinked in and was stunned with that.
Ooh.
Oh,
Paimon's never seen
Okay.
anything
Yeah,
like
it's
this.
just too long for us.
And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Tevat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Lesser
He's
Lord
got a point.
Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so say we did go running off in here. What would happen? What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
Ooh la la.
I don't think that.
He just wants to be close.
I don't think that's the point. In the
You
plot.
can't run through the thing.
These sapling things have spread out.
Okay.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
No, I think we won. They're back.
Oh shit.
Again.
Oh shit, this is Air's room all over again.
It looks
What?
the same in
You
every
need to
direction.
cut the.
No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it.
Yeah, I think we won.
So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Yeah, it would have been awesome making like a further day.
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you
It's
made
still
it.
a disease, that's fine.
Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other
You
inside
think
our
they came in
heads?
touch?
Paimon.
Because I would have been dead there. Yeah, we ended now.
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is go back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
Here you go.
Well done. Smart and attentive as always.
Ah,
So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry
Yeah.
just like anyone else.
lost level pretty much.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Genshin got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatara Suna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait! How did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality,
Okay.
as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatara Suna is a warm, welcoming place, like a giant village. People are gainfully employed, their lives have purpose. They are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatara Suna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown, all passing on their legacy. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatara Suna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Oh shit.
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
What the fuck?
You stabbed.
No shit.
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all. And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatara Suna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
It's the doctor.
If you
Oh,
kill
shit.
me, there's no one who can get
Sounds
inside
like him.
the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment.
That does
If
sound
you
like the
must know,
doctor.
I'm happy to divulge my true identity.
There you
I'm
see.
a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh.
That's it.
This was 400 years ago.
That's why you gave us your cursed technology? just to let loose the evil energy from...
My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside world. However, I did not make it with you in mind. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet.
Oh.
Make no mistake, even
Oh,
without
snap.
you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones who think like that are people like you.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa, already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner
Alright,
workings.
he's like Xehanort.
What fun it was.
Once upon a time, leveling to achieve was the last thing you did.
I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
So level Q, which is not yeah, that was funny.
Hey, are you alright?
Dottore. Dottore!
That was delayed.
Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine? But why did we see things from his perspective?
You to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
It's kind of sad.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
He's not very good at that.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Bless you.
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabuki Mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as a mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it had protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
He just snorts everything in his bag and then runs in. Yeah, so the way he's a character like this with a little spin and just breaks them.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Tottori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Okay. Can I
Quit, angry
console
boy.
you?
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me?
Ignoring me.
If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Come to attack.
Hey, are you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
I'm not gonna help him again.
That's why we're here.
That easy.
Zaza.
But unfortunately, there's
Babe,
no
use your
information
muscles to
about
put
the
him back on
descendants
her.
in
Put her on the
Irminsul.
bed.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it.
She is being sussy. So,
Don't worry, my brother's dog was sassy too.
thank you, my angel.
Training to the rat. Shout. He's a late.
Don't thank me just yet. You look really
Nicole,
upset.
something's happening on your mic.
Well, since Irminsul was a dead end,
I was leaning
I
on
guess
it.
I can share some other info that might interest you.
Oh, yeah?
About what?
The reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul.
Pretty doable.
It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world. Lived with your brother for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord
Did we get
Kusanali
Kitty's
was
ass?
right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you. and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand.
That's not answering a question, but okay.
Ooh la la, give me your head. Ooh. I don't even ship this. I don't even know where I'm going with this.
Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know,
Baby.
I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
Sorry.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta find him somehow.
Holy moly.
Oh no, he's really gone.
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I think if you go on the other side,
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
Did she? Oh, I was gonna say, did she just make all that fuss just to jump off my bed?
We're out! And we're at, an inn or something?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me.
So what, I just wait here
How bad
for
is
4
it?
hours?
Nahida, will you be okay?
You know, like as the story goes on, we just
Don't
wait.
worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before?
Now she'll catch me by surprise. Huh?
He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible!
One day.
Right! You can't just rewrite history! All that stuff happened already in real life! It's like, imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn. Even if no one was there to see it, Paimon would sure as heck remember drinking it. So, why does Paimon still have a bad feeling about this? Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do. Paimon's so confused.
Yes, I was unlucky.
Huh?
If I would have thrown the 1-7.
Sorry. Paimon accidentally... It's the Balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress.
This mental stress.
Erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's head is overheating from trying to understand what he's up to. And it's still not working. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But Paimon's still so worried. Paimon won't be able to sleep a wink tonight. So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Heck, if that doesn't work, Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here. Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes. Cream stew. Sauteed matsutake. And Dragon chili chicken. Almond tofu. Satisfying salad. Oh,
She's literally just
also,
listing
a
the
depth
list of
temptation,
food we
golden
have in
shrimp
our
balls,
inventory.
triple layered consomme, lotus seed and bird egg soup, and
Did she just poop out?
I have no idea.
What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about. What was it again? The Balladeer? Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name, though. What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it something Paimon said? So, the Balladeer. Is that someone's name? 'Cause it sounds like a nickname or something. Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
Damn. I'm assuming. Damn.
I'll be back. I need some coffee.
It's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. No. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft until they became 5 distinct traditions. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline, and for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Oh, yeah, we were! Paimon remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokuden, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphan son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent-up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares, They fought back, fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedahara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact.
I'm back.
We spoke for a while over some tea. He seemed well. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon. On to the next stop. Lead the way, traveler. Paimon will be right behind you.
He like shows up to the fight by the time we've won it. Oh, it doesn't count.
We're here! This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid your timing is unfortunate. They're not here right now.
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
Jack doesn't have any keys. I don't know why I waited so long. They were all over me.
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
What's he doing? Oh my god.
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both fair himself. Well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although, he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
So pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But I'm sure you must be far too busy to have time for that. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are and how much she admires you. I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all. I mean it. Whenever the Commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. I always find myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them chat away. The Commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home. But given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine here. They say it's because Toma's a much better chef than most. Oh, the Commissioner is so fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes too, you know. Always with a very fond tone. The way one would talk about dear old friends around whom one can truly be themselves. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever the whole family gets together and they start talking about people they've met and experiences they've had, you always get a mention.
I hate her voice.
It's been many years
I wish
now
she would
since
stop.
the late Mr. and Mrs. Kamisato passed away. Much has happened in the Kamisato clan in that time. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter grow up, it makes me so happy to see them meet a dependable friend whose company they enjoy so much. So, in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashiro Commission headquarters. There will always be at least one old lady who would be delighted to have the pleasure of your company. Wonderful. Thank you.
Paimon likes
Shut
to
up
hear
now.
too. Also, you were saying something about the food here being really great.
Paimon, stop.
Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite ourselves around for dinner sometime. Paimon meant we should come pay a visit again real soon. Ideally around dinner time.
Of course. You're always welcome.
Alright, goodbye for now. Where are we going next? Great! Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
All right, then. Take care now. Hope to see you soon.
I hate her so much.
That
Are
was
you two
painful.
leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
His voice is so weird for his body, I'm just saying.
I know, it's kind of like Mickey Mouse, but like deeper. I saw I missed that. Okay, Tatarasuna. So wait, does that mean Kazuha doesn't travel with Beto? Like,
that would be sad.
I'm trying to figure out what the ever-loving shit's going on. Okay, Xavier. Hi.
Well, here we are. But what are we looking for? Something
Xavier.
or someone?
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the traveler in
Oh
Paimon?
my god. He's so eccentric.
What are you doing here?
Xavier?
I was in the general area.
Xavier, what?
Now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So what about you two?
We've been calling his wrong name forever.
Well, the quest wasn't voiced. How am I supposed to know that Xavier was pronounced Xavier? Guys,
Good
yeah,
times.
we spoke to Xavier. They'll be like, the fuck? Be like, yeah, you did the quest, you know, Tatara Fina.
Motherfucker.
Okay, you're in this. I was in the general area. Now I'm in this specific area. Thank you, Xavier. Usually you'd like have a cuppy on the E. Okay.
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
But he's the dude that we dealt with in the beginning.
But remember that the thing wasn't taken into the Tatarasan Sinif. The Balladeer just yeeted himself, so we're busy finding out if he knows.
No. The Balladier's friend Niwa and a bladesmith went into the furnace. Not the Balladier, Niwa and the bladesmith went into the furnace. I'm confused.
So then things should be fine. Things should be hunky-dory over here.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away.
Why would we say, do you know anything about the furnace? And then you're like, yes, I do. Just tell me. Fucking hell.
Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here. It's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago.
He doesn't know.
I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
So the doctor was back there.
Weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna?
Oh god.
Xavier.
Xavier!
I'm not gonna get over it. It's gonna be a good giggle for the day.
How long is this story? We've literally, so this is 2 hours we've been going on at this. 2 hours. Yes. Xavier?
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Apparently we are.
Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge?
I crave knowledge.
What if we did?
Mother, I
You know,
crave
sometimes
knowledge.
people just
Let
wake
me
up
go
that
ask
way.
Xavier for knowledge.
Xavier. He knows all the things of so many little things.
He's... Mother, I woke up craving knowledge. I need to go speak with thine Xavier, who knows all about Tatarasuna, and the history is true. Okay,
And
what is
then
the
he still
history?
doesn't tell us much at
I
the same
don't
time.
know, but it's true.
Sure.
I don't know, but it's true.
Have you heard of a kabuki mono? Okay, connected.
Kabuki-mono? No, I can't say that I have.
So
I do
wait.
know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types.
So does that mean that
go around dressed
the
to
balladeer
nines.
just didn't even
Just
come
the sort
here?
of person that I'd like to meet, actually. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where Tatarasuna is concerned.
Yeah. Just stay. Okay.
Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most
Xavier.
welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Oh, shit.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's gotta keep it together. Why don't you grab something to eat? You can't go facing life's challenges on an empty stomach.
I can crave knowledge on an empty stomach.
Go eat Nahida.
Babe, the internet. Are you sure, Nicole?
Your internet dropped.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, no, it dropped.
Yeah, if the internet goes down, I'll let you know.
Okay, so you can see again. Luckily, that was like at the end of the scene. Okay, cool. And scene.
Luckily.
Let's carry on. We're going.
Did you start a new stream?
It says I'm still streaming.
Let me check for you.
Go check, please.
La 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 la.
It says I'm an hour and 13
Traveling to
minutes
other
in.
worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about
Let me
these
just
days.
double check for you.
Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about
Yeah.
their own
We're still
world.
good to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually thought you got shaded there for a moment.
Like, Bonbon's still playing and he's not complaining. That's why I was like, because obviously his ping like just shoots up the minute the internet goes down. That's why I was like, what? I just saw you dropped out of the stream and I'm like, huh?
The internet kicked me out.
I think I'm just gonna call him Scaramouche. Because he doesn't like the Balladeer and he doesn't like Kabukimono. So
He doesn't like Nay baby. Don't worry, I'm at least joking. I would never name him that. It's just funny.
Well, remember, Hill wants to name him. What is it? Baby Girl.
Baby Girl.
I want to actually see it. I want to fucking see
I
it.
think the idea of things staying the
It
same
just means
forever
that if you have him as a character, he'll be named Baby Girl.
But alas,
But then in
simply
story
not the way the
section, he's
world
also going to be
works.
named Baby Girl.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna name him Scaramouche so at least I know when he's being
But that's
spoken about.
what I was saying to the guys. I was like, guys, why?
If you
Like,
name him Steve, you're gonna be like,
if you
who
na-
the fuck is Steve?
yeah, you're like, yeah, I took Steve up today. Like, what? What do you mean?
Steve.
Who the fuck is Steve? What are you talking about?
Poor rejected Steve.
Yeah, what do I get if I enter this?
Into what?
Hold on. It's on the Mihoyo site. It says the
Don't you
survey
mean
will take me
gems?
2 minutes. Hold on. I don't know my IP address. How do you just know your IP address? It's like your ID. What do I get for doing this?
That's good.
Usually you only get money. Okay, let's do this. What are your usual sources of information about new games,
Everywhere.
including Genshin Impact and other games? Snapchat?
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be
Yeah,
writing about
I go to
these days.
Snapchat for this shit. Anime websites.
Goodness
Well,
knows
yeah,
what they
anime
find so
websites.
disappointing about
Hoyo
their
Lab,
own
well,
world.
that's you guys. Forums, communities. YouTube, yes. Not subscription services, no. No, not magazines. Outdoor advertisers in South Africa, please. Bitch, please. No. Twitter?
The tweets, yes.
You get it from the Twitter. I don't do the Twitter.
Most humans
get
could have
from
the
the
entirety of their fleeting lives
I don't do the
chronicled in
Twitter.
but a few short
Mobile
lines.
app stores.
Their stories really make for terribly dull reading.
Is there any other feedback you would like to share with us about the community? No. Was that it?
What you get?
I got nothing.
Waste of
Hello.
10 seconds.
It was supposed to take me 2 minutes. You've already completed the survey. What do I get for completing the
The
survey?
idea of things staying the same forever is quite
The
beautiful.
least you can do is take away the
But
notification.
alas, that is simply not the way the world works.
This game knows how to piss me off. Just put the notification there.
New mail.
Yeah, no, that was my login for today. You know, when you log in on the app, you get stuff. Every 7 days, you get like 20 gems or something.
Ooh,
Okay, we're going back to the sanctuary. I wonder if this is like the end of the story.
That'd be really funny.
Well, I'm assuming we'd have to test Scaramouche shots.
Hey, it's them.
Oh, hi. Oh, shit. Hi.
Oh shit. What essay are they writing now?
Akaba, so
I'm not reading
you're
it.
still here?
You can read it.
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join
No.
us once more.
No.
I'll read it if it's different.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
Don't give me a script.
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obviously.
Oh, lovely. Lovely. Let's discuss
Still
it.
looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we join them?
I really don't want to talk about it, but I guess... But by now, everyone knows about Tatarasuna's
Unfortunately,
past.
we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh, of course.
Right.
Okay, shall I read it this time?
Ha!
A brief analysis of possible events of historical importance in the Tatarasuna area. Details. This text belongs to a series of works sponsored by the Vahumana's Veil-Cutter project. It has yet to be numbered.
Veil-Cutter.
Val.
Veil.
Val.
Xavier. It's veil. They like the A sound. Veil.
Veil.
Okay.
Author, I'm going to call him
Akaba. It's Akaba, but I call him Mustache Man.
Akaba. Abstract. The Tatarasuna area has always been a major pillar of Inazuma's smithing industry.
That's the same.
2 incidents have occurred here, and the details behind the first are vague at best. I believe, however, that there might, that there might, no, what's wrong
Be
with
a
this?
hidden history behind a...
Okay,
You
that's not just me.
see, it's not just me when I'm reading and I'm like, wait.
I'm like,
wait.
something is missing. Something is missing. Something is missing. What is missing? Be a hidden history behind the events that transpired. Hence, this paper will attempt to analyze what may have unfolded from the available data. Glossary, Tatarasuna area. Right?
Okay, hold on, let me...
Go.
Here we go.
Mikoshi Nakamasa. Introduction. This paper continues to expand on the works of my mentor, Mr. Rumi. In this report on haply hidden tales of Tatarasuna, and is intended to further the avenue of research. According to the data, the blade forging techniques of Inazuma were originally handed down from the Electro Archon, also known as the Raiden Shogun. Using the arts they inherited from their Archon, the people of Inazuma devoted themselves to the process of forging. However, strange rumors that do not quite fit the steely nature of the metalwork yet linger about Tatarasuna's smelting center, which was the central pillar of the forging industry. There, Mikoshi and Niwa clans, along with the eccentric mechanic from abroad, serve as the 3 windows of insight we need to investigate the truth behind what happened. Body. Strange notes from Tatarasuna area. Their contents as follows. 1. Perhaps I overstep, but I think that Sir Nagimasa's mood grows better when he forges blades. The obsession to cleanse the stain of the name Mikoshi must eat at him.
That's the same.
2. The inspector bought a certain number of jade steel ingots. Sir Katsuragi discussed matters of smithing deep into the night with the vice armory officer. 3. We had last made a single Nagimaki. We had last made, okay. We called it the Daitatara Nagamasa. The inspector was in high spirits, and he and the vice armory officer, Nozumu, was so taken by the beauty of the Daitatara Nagamasa that he drew a picture of it. 4. The inspector flew into a rage and slashed Katsuragi. The great blade cut deep into the flesh, cast his own nagamaki into the furnace's flames. Nozomu could not abide by that order and drew the completely melted weapon out of the furnace. He was horribly burned. 5. Nozumu died that night. I dare say that while Sir Kisaragi may have committed malfeasance, it must...
Yeah, that's that word that we're like, what?
Yeah, it was out of the goodness of his heart. Kinjiro hid the Nagimaki and Nozumu's drawing in the arsenal. Nagimasa is harsh, but also knows right from wrong. But even so, he is not amenable to reason. His name indicates one obsessed with purity. Still, I and some of the households of Tatarasuna have not been blinded by the matter of Nagimasa's mother Chiro, and here we trust him.
Must I read? You are adding words now.
Shut up. I do what I want. I'm an English teacher.
You're an English teacher. You're making it make no sense. And here we trust him. What?
Why did I add it here?
I don't know. And you're not even halfway.
Just enjoy the trauma.
Oh my god, okay, go.
Also remain unwilling to forget the joy of creating the Daitatara Nagimasa with him. 7. Before we withdrew, we should have divided the arsenal key into 3 parts. 1 for the inspector, 1 for the armory officer, and 1 to be left in the Tatarasuna itself to prevent theft. But we were in too much of a hurry, and neither the inspector nor the armory officer could be found. So I was so bold as to hide the 3 pieces within treasure chests in Tatarasuna. That's very wise. Very wise. Like, holy crap, that's how you
I'm
get
like
shit
using
stolen.
the keyboard on the mouse to like to scroll. I'm like, why is it not scrolling? Okay.
The 7 notes mentioned prior have been scattered across the Tatarasuna area. Among the 7 notes, 6 seem to be of good physical integrity, though they all look quite old, while the last one looks more recent. I believe that the first 6 notes and the last are of different time periods, though the gulf in the years between them needs to be verified. The contents of the first 6 should also be related to each other, as the incidents mentioned are quite consistent with one another. Ruby once mentioned in Happily Hidden Tales of Tatarasuna, hereafter known as Hidden Tales, that in the past, researchers from Sumeru had investigated the cultural histories of Tatarasuna and Inazuma. Though the place has fallen into some degree of disrepair since the Hidden Tales were written, things have improved since the time where I wrote my original article. Regardless, what used to be an area of major industry remains a place most inhospitable, and residents of Tatarasuna may be found living and dwelling in the waters.
By
the waters. Why not in the water? Actually, that makes a very fucking big difference.
It does. It does.
I like my way of reading it. It's a comedy now.
Hell, Nicole.
The residents, when questioned, told the researchers of Tatarasuna's golden age centuries ago. when it was administered by Armory Officer Niwa, Vice Armory Officer Miyazaki, and Inspector Mikoshi Nagamasa. Yet the elders among the locals, with deeper ties to the region, also seemed to stress the fact that there were strange rumors surrounding their homeland's past.
Okay, hold on. So it's a good thing
in
that
yellow now.
It's in yellow now. It's a good thing that we read the first one, because otherwise we would have been so fucking confused. Okay.
Yep.
At least I can remember now. Would you like to take a break and then you can read White again?
Sure.
You sound winded from that.
Bruh. Gotta take turns here.
We didn't take turns the first time.
I told you we should take turns. You're like, yeah, I got it.
I was halfway done. Okay.
Like, I got it. And I'm like, you should take breaks. You ain't got it.
Whatever. I had it more than you.
I'm just adding words for
You embellishing. Very much.
But they need to live in the water.
Anyway, a great many of these rumors revolved around the yokai, who are so very characteristic of Inazuma's folk histories. A small portion, however, repeatedly mentions the word outsider. What? This was not in the original. It should be known that the appearance
are different.
It should be known that the appearance of such a character, who is suspected to be based on a real person, is a very curious case. The fact drew the attention of the researchers to delve further, and eventually the following pieces of information came to light. A foreign mechanic once visited Tatarasuna. Reportedly, the reason for his immigration was to exchange knowledge and forge ties with the locals. However, the mechanic seems to behave suspiciously, often wandering around essential and restricted areas, and if someone tried to turn him away, they would only earn incomprehensible mumbles from his lips. That's not me, okay. The mechanic often stared into the furnace, seemingly to check on its condition. Unsettlingly, he also spent a substantial amount of time watching local residents. That's just like weird. He's a voyeur. Judging from the era, it was not uncommon to see cross-cultural exchanges of technological knowledge in places such as Tatarasuna. After traveling across the tides, foreign experts being welcome in the region was likely not unreasonable either. Yet calamity came not long after the exchange of knowledge, which hints at high potential for causation between these events. However, some current residents believe that these assumptions were merely the result of their forebears' overactive imaginations attempting to theorize how things actually unfolded. So now it's not about the Kabukimono. Whoops. It's now the outsider.
Damn.
Okay.
Go up a bit. Oh, okay, so it wasn't...
I was like on point.
Thought they had another little thingamajiggy.
No, yellow's down here again.
Blub, 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 blub. There's a mosquito. I swear to God, mosquito, come near me and I will murder you. A list of individuals related to Tatarasuna... Damn it, I almost got it. A list of individuals related to Tatarasuna has been compiled here based on historical documents from Inazuma. Starting from the administrators, the records are as follows. Armory Officer Niwa. Full name, Niwa Hashihida. He was the inheritor of the Ishin art and successor to the Niwa clan. His family, along with the Akame and Kaedehara,
that's because of his name, Nicole, you should know this.
Kaedehara clans were together known as the Ishin Sansaku.
That's the one where I was like Sansaku.
Ishin Sansaku. Records show that Niwa was the modest and intelligent individual who displayed remarkable talent in the administration of territory and people. Okay. His eventual
Do
whereabouts
you see,
are
you did
unknown.
not pay attention to a damn word I said when I was reading this shit, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Did you?
But he was suspected
Did
to
you?
have left. he was suspected of having left Tatarasuna with his family following the incident. Vice Armory Officer Miyazaki. Full name Miyazaki Kaneo. Okay, jump. Okay, don't jump. Okay, jump. Sorry, my cat.
You see, that's why I was like, I prefer Kanya.
It's not an I. It's Kaneo.
Kanya.
Kanya.
Xavier.
There's the cat.
Xavier.
Kanya.
Xavier.
He was new as Kanye. No, that.
There's no A.
Kanye. Xavier. He was Niwa's second in command. His origins are unknown, and he primarily assisted Niwa in forging and personnel management. He was of affable temperament and had many friends in the region, including one Mikoshi Nagamasa, Inspector Mikoshi Nagamasa, the successor of the Mikoshi clan, adopted son to Oni warrior Mikoshi Chio, and the younger adopted brother to Mikoshi Michihiro, also known as Iwakura the successor. With his mother missing and abandoned by his brother, Nagamasa alone bore the family name, striving daily to wipe the shame from their history. The records state that Mikoshi Nagamasa was a stubborn figure. He was also noted to be a person of moral virtue and integrity. It has been noted in various records that he practiced forging swords for self-cultivation and specifically requested special instruction from Miyazaki to further his capabilities. However, after a famous blade, Dai Tatara Nagamasa, was forged, he used it to slay his subordinate, Katsuragi, for reasons unknown at present.
That seems to be...
Subordinate Katsuragi. Katsuragi's full name and background remain unknown. Despite all the materials I have sorted through, I have yet to find any more additional personal information regarding him. As one of Mikoshi Nagamasa's subordinates, he was a loyal warrior who had been saved by Nagamasa in his youth. From there on, he swore to stick by his lord through thick and thin, to give his life in service if it was but asked of him.
Okay. The mechanic. Long have I delved through many texts and documents, but I was ultimately unable to decipher even a spectre of a clue as to this background. Still, mentions of the mechanic grew scarcer in the aftermath of the Tatarasuna incident. I speculate that instead of the mechanically possibly being a figure woven from overripe imaginations, he actually did exist, and perhaps even had a hand in the events that took place in Tatarasuna. Okay, the rest of the paper's unfinished.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well.
No.
Here.
No.
I'm ready.
No,
Let's
no.
add some words.
No. I am literally skimming over this shit. No, we're gonna be here for fucking ever, Nicole. Like, we've been streaming an hour and a half now, plus the 50 minutes before. That's like 2 hours. 2.5 hours. No. We stop here. Yeah, okay, the burst into laughter. Does this also have yellow writing? Oh, okay, so we can just read the yellow. That's different. Okay, great. Thanks. Because I'm not doing your let's just add a spice of life and make them live in water. Okay. Okay, so... And how goes the forging of your Lord's great blade? Okay, he neither went ashamed nor... I see your ears as keen, so Niwa... Yeah, okay. Miyazaki hid his grin. Upon hearing this, Niwa released the lizard from his hand to Katsuragi's palm. But just as more words were to be exchanged, someone came walking nearby, their footsteps steady and confident. The head that appeared by the door was that of one from abroad. The newcomer placed some lunch boxes to one side, nodded, and made to leave. Katsuragi came out after him. Sir, what about your meal? Are you not hungry? The man smiled upon hearing Katsuragi's word. I already ate. I hope that you, my lords, may also find time to sate your hunger soon. You are our guest, sir. To see you in these trifling matters fills me with embarrassment, Niwa said with sincerity. The man smiled that if it was no matter, then with a nod he departed. So in the previous version, I don't know if he brought the food, but they asked him to sit and eat with them, and he did. Okay, now. Okay. Okay. Like a falling spear, the black cloud reached the bottom of the boat and was joined in its bereftness of direction. Like a charging beast, they plunged into the shoreline. Scant steps away, the mechanic laughed, slowly approaching the grand wreck. See now, that wasn't the mechanic. That was the Kabuki-mono. That was standing here, so that's swapped. Naught but half an arm was left of the one who had cried out for help, and with a plop it landed at the mechanic's feet, who crouched to better study the object, straining against the urge to take a bite. Yet he did not, for the dark clouds swirling down had already picked the remnants of the ship clean. So this, they just swapped the mechanic in, I guess. So the mechanic is taking the place of Kabuki-mono, I think. Okay. 10 people, okay. So now this is when they were sending boats back. Then a second ship was sent, followed by a third and fourth. Each who left to seek salvation did so under false skies and bleak fortunes. Reason dictated that they should not have risked anyone else, but the situation in Tatarasuna was severe. They needed to gain aid from Inazuma, even should it cost them more lives. Now this is different from the initial one, because the initial one said that even if it costed them more lives, it didn't matter because they needed aid from Inazuma City. And it didn't sound as grim as this. Okay. And then it looks like everything else is the same from there. Okay. Some changes, not much.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how about we tell them what we learned?
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
Please go to black screen. Thank you.
Wow, so many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Amanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator, as a way of exacting revenge against those in power.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much for the information.
You're so welcome.
See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Absolutely, good sir. We'll definitely do that. Thank you so much.
Will do.
I cannot for the life of me understand why he's British if he's from Inazuma.
It's because he's British.
But Inazuma is like based off of what? Asian culture?
It's based off of Japan.
Japan. Based off of Japan. And here's a Brit.
Would you like to know what your elf name is?
My elf name?
Your elf name, are you ready for it?
Nicole, we're supposed to be doing the story.
But you need to know. Oh, you need to
Okay,
know
what is
your
my
elf
elf name?
Your elf name is Cookie Monkey Buns.
What is your elf name?
What's my elf name? Buddy Angel Pants.
This is where in the video I want you to put the ... pixie.exe has stopped working.
You know you needed to know your elf name right now.
I'm gonna continue with the story. I'm not doing this bullshit. Yeah, he's not there anymore.
Nahida, we're here! Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then she decided she wanted to go to Inazuma.
The Balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name.